Hey everyone. Oh, sorry. It's echoing. Hi. Okay, so I think I'm fine. How are you? Merry Christmas. Okay, as in we're close to it, and I'm already in the Christmas mood. All right. How about you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, I was 9 minutes late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So how you doing? Please, once you are connected, kindly hold me. I want you to hold me, please. Once you are connected, let me acknowledge. Let me acknowledge your presence. You are there. Yeah, let me acknowledge your presence. Yeah, I can see us joining. Fantastic. Okay. Welcome. We'll have a very important topic on the Friday show today. All right. Happy weekend, and thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And I pray it's going to be a blessed one, a memorable one, a beautiful one. Therefore, I want to encourage you, catch some fun with family and friends, okay? And then when I say try to catch some fun with family and friends, don't take off your family and go out with friends, okay? Especially married couples, learn to go out together. Is a way to build your closeness with your spouse. Okay, you are not trying to impress anyone. You are not trying to just do it because Meriboye is saying do it or everybody is doing it. Do it because at times, in order to mitigate stress, in order for self-care for you after work, a whole week of heavy work at in your office, even when the work weren't so heavy, that notwithstanding, make it a habit to spend time outside, going to church or mosque, outside walking, just with you, your spouse, or your family, your children. All right, God bless you. So welcome to the show today. As you can see, the topic, marriage, myth, and realities. You'll be able to call in. You'll be able to call in and to make your contribution, because we'll be talking about a few of them. There are so many of these things we call myths, and we don't call them myths, we just imbibe them. Some of it we were born into that, and we've made them a part of our lives already. Some of them, in fact, we think till date that this is just how God wants us to do certain things, and we don't know till now that some of them are actually they have their roots from one traditional cultural myth or the other. Okay, so I'll be mentioning a few of them. I want you to be attentive, and I want you to please be able to make your contribution. Let me type in the number to call out there. Marriage, myths, and reality. Okay? Myth could be responsible for marriage failure. When the Bible tells you that knowledge will lead to salvation, sorry, I hope I've not misquoted. I'm trying to paraphrase. It's what you know sincerely that will actually set you free. You may think you know some things, but unfortunately, if what you know is not the truth, you can't have your freedom. Okay? You can't have your freedom. You shall know the truth, and the truth you know shall set you free. Freedom only comes after knowing. And knowing is talking about knowing the truth. So who tells you that what you have known so far is the truth? If it's not the truth, you just have the knowledge, it won't lead to freedom. So it is essential for you to be able to know what you know as the truth. So you don't just know it because it's a general or popular opinion, or is what you were born into, is what is obtainable everywhere. And somehow you just, imbibe it as truth. And these are the things that you've been using to determine the decisions you take in your life. These are the things you'll be using to rule the affairs of your life. Let me be sincere with you. If the things, the beliefs that rules your life are not rooted in truth, there is no how there won't be a problem. So people have marital issues. We talk about them every time we are fortunate or privileged to be connected to you in a live show like this. People have problems, and a lot of things are responsible for these problems. A major reason or source of problems, marital problems, is actually myths. So now we will name these myths and we will compare them with reality, and we'll have some points of reference. Where are we taking them from, and is it the truth? Okay, so check everything you believe and be sure it's truth. It could be, you could look so foolish when you hold onto a system of belief and you believe that, oh, this is just the truth, and every other person, they are living their lives on lie. And once it comes to any avenue, you begin to argue to say like you are the one that actually know the truth. Okay, you have to really be sure that what you're living with is the truth. So you'll be able to call in using WhatsApp if it's okay for you, and make sure you add your +1 44 3979 1704 to make your contribution. So let me call that as calling. Okay, so calling, that is it. I'll pin it. So I'm putting it on, I guess we are on like how many platforms we are streaming? Hey, Adebayo Alero, I see you. Thank you. Please help me to invite someone to be a part of this. Okay. I'm attaching the number to call. Sorry, what's going on there? Okay. Hey, Tolulokpe, I see you. How are you, sweetheart? Thank you. Even when you don't pass a comment, okay, I acknowledge your presence, please. If you're on YouTube, I see us on YouTube. This is the number you may be able to call if you're calling in to make your contribution. Let's go straight to the points. Myth and the reality as it concerns marriage. So there are a few popular myths that whether you're a Christian or whatever religion you believe, you've accepted them as truth. And some of these things are peculiar to cultural backgrounds. So the myth you have in Africa are not necessarily the one that is obtainable here in America. So whatever your own myth may be, please just be sure that you're living your life on truth and not just on myths. If it is myths, it will be bad. Number one, okay? I posted that earlier. Okay. No, I've not posted that. Marriage will end your loneliness. That is number one myth. That's as per this show. Sorry. Checking out myself. Marriage will end your loneliness. It's a myth. Marriage will not end your loneliness. And now put the reality there. You see, there are a lot of people that are married and they are lonely. That tells you that popular opinion that marriage will end your loneliness is a lie, a clear lie. It's not the truth. Don't hold on to that. In other words, don't enter your marriage with that expectation that, oh, I've been lonely for 25 years. I'm married. Loneliness is going to, vanish. You will be so disappointed that by the time you enter the marriage, you discover that, oh, this is not happening. And that is where problems happen. When you go into a marriage or relationship with certain expectations and they are not met, then you feel that your partner has failed you, you feel disappointed, okay, you feel bored, you feel discouraged, you begin to compare issues, then problem begins to emerge, okay? So don't enter marriage with the mindset that marriage will end loneliness. The truth is that there are couples that are married and they are still lonely. Okay? So that is number one. Another popular myth or general opinion about marriage is that I posted that earlier. it says, when you are married, your partner makes you a complete person. So marriage with your partner makes you a complete human being. That is, you hold that opinion that now that you are married, your second half has joined you, then you are now a complete person. It's a big lie. This is actually rooted in this in the report of the Bible, and let me clarify that. When the Bible says God picks out the rib from the side of the man to make the woman, and when after he made the woman, he brought the woman to Adam, and Adam beheld her and said, "This, of course, is the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called a womb man." Now, there is no report in the Bible that says Adam wasn't, that the rim of Adam was missing. I don't know, that the rim of Adam was missing, and the removal of the womb makes him incomplete. Anything God makes is perfect. And now when God looked at the man to say, "Oh, it is not good for the man to be alone," it was for complement. It doesn't mean that the work of God was not perfect. Everything he made, the Bible says, was good and was perfect. So he needed a companion that meets the category of man. We had animals, and all the animals had their mates. There will be a male and a female. He made everything. So he looked at the man that, fine, you are handsome, you are perfect. Let me create a partner for you. And he brought the woman into the system. So you are not married to become complete. You are already complete. Most especially if you are a child of God. You are a complete human being. Now, this also tells you that even those that are not married, they don't need marriage to live a perfect life. What you need to live a perfect life is to fear God. Sincerely, it's not marriage that gives a complete life. Complete, okay? So I'm here to debunk some of these lies that we have imbibed, and because we don't see them happening in our lives, we are so hard on ourselves and we term ourselves failures. You have not failed because you are not married. Marriage is beautiful, it's wonderful. I'm married, I'm experienced, I know it, I'm enjoying it. But let me tell you, if you're out there and you're yet to be married, it doesn't mean you can't be happy. So don't wait for marriage before you make yourself happy. Be happy anyway as you wait for marriage. Okay, we have a lot of single ladies, especially that are not married, and because they are not married, they look so sad, they look so old. It feels like the weight of the whole world is on their head. They feel that there's nothing good that is happening to them because of marriage. No. Let's take this out of our systems and our head. Marriage is not all you need to be happy. It's a choice. You may choose to be happy with or without marriage. Don't we have married people that are not happy? Then marriage is not the major source of happiness. If it works, if your own marriage works, it's a source of happiness for you. But how about those that are facing challenges? Okay, so take that off your head. Continue with your life. If you feel you're of age and marriage has not come, you know what you do? Continue with your life. Keep adding more knowledge to yourself. Keep advancing in other areas. So don't wait for marriage to come before you become a better you. Okay? Don't put a halt on your life. This is important. Let me see. Okay? I see you guys connected. So I will have to keep checking on you to be sure, just like I did yesterday and the other time that my volume was off. Yeah, I see you, Tolulope Helen. Ogbaru Benga Amos. Wow, Benga, how are you? How is your country? And I see Nelson. I can see a number of you connected, so you may not talk, but I see you and I acknowledge you. Thank you so much. All right, so we've talked about two myths or two lies. We can actually call these myths lies, okay? And the reason why we're talking about them is that please don't base your life on them. They are not real. They are not real, okay? Another one is, okay, the reality of being complete, of not being complete without your partner is being a compliment, okay? Not that you have something is missing in your life. If there's anything missing, you can make it available. You can consciously make things to be missing in your life and you call it your partner. No, it's not right. Another myth is that marriage is for everyone. Marriage is for everyone. It's a myth. It's not true. Okay? Marriage is not for everyone. The best teachers of the Bible, I've said it over and over again, let me repeat. The two best marriage teachers in the Bible were never married. Are you shocked? They were never married. And yet, both of them have the report in the Bible that they lived a fulfilled life in their lifetime. Our Lord Jesus Christ and Paul the Apostle said, I have fought the good fight of faith. That is Paul. That is, have lived a fulfilled life. Yet, he was not married. So marriage is not for everyone. The Bible says some will choose to be married, some will choose not to be married for one or two reasons. Okay? So it's not for anyone. You can decide to be married, you can decide not to be married. There's not a problem. I know that in my continent in Africa, it's like a taboo when you choose not to be married, apart from those that have done it because of the gospel, maybe our reverend fathers in the Catholic mission and, you know, in other areas, people may decide not to be married because of the gospel and because of other reasons, okay? It may look like a taboo that, oh, as a whole person, you choose not to marry. Something is definitely wrong with you. It's a lie. If you desire to be married, fantastic, go for it. But it's not actually, marriage is not actually for everyone. I don't know, maybe I will say that a lot of people who are really trying their best to be married are not married. Probably marriage is not for them. I won't believe that personally, okay? I just believe that life happens to people. You don't get what you want for one or two reasons or for a lot of reasons, some which are beyond your control. Things happen, life happens. Okay, but as long as you want, as much as you desire to marry, okay, wait for it, plan for it, and go for it. Okay? But sincerely, marriage is not for everyone. And another thing that I will attach to that myth is that you get to a certain age and you start getting troubled because marriage has not come. What informed that opinion? Why are we like that? Let me take my time to clear the air over that point. There is no law, there is no policy, whether divine, human, cultural, or whatever, that pinned certain age to marriage. It's just that it looks like the normal, the new normal, where if you are 25, you are not married, it looks like you have a problem. There may never be a problem. It's just that if you are a woman, you've not found someone, or if you are a man, probably you are not ready. So don't be among those people who trouble their peace, who trouble their life's progress by basing their lives on general opinion. Some of you are looking at me right now and you're connected. You are of age, probably you are above 40 or you are above 30, and you are not married. And it looks like you are plagued by the enemy. What if it's not so? So you stop looking at the negative side of everything that happens to you against your plan. You don't get a good result when all of a sudden this body of water falls off and it breaks. And you just see that, oh, something spiritual must have happened here. And as a result of that, you leave the life show, I leave everything I'm doing now, to just go look for a counter spiritual power that I will use to address that. Then you get distracted unnecessarily. Okay, so it's not everything that comes across your way that is being orchestrated by some negative forces. Life happens again, okay? So work on your mindset, work on your belief system so that you can make fast progress in life. By understanding and by experience, I've studied the people who pay more attention on negative things. A lot of negative things happen to them as well. Okay? See the positive, the good you can receive in every negative thing that happens. If this thing falls, what if, okay, it was because I put it here. Simple. So next time, don't let me put it at the edge. Let me keep it somewhere else. And you see the same thing will not happen. So pay less attention to negative things, because what you give out will determine what gets attracted to you. When you hold on to negativity so much, you are likely going to get a lot of negative things attracted to you. It's a life's principle. So be careful. All right? Another one, another myth that you should discard over marriage and marriage relationships is that any challenges you are going through right now is like it's peculiar to you. I will paraphrase. You may be going through a very tough time in your marriage, and it looks like people get married and enjoy their marriage. Why is my own different? Stop it. Don't be that negative. Everybody, including me, your marriage counselor, I have issues. Just that the degree of our challenges, they differ. And they differ based on the way we manage or address them. Okay, so don't feel that I'm just, why do I have to go through? Why me? Why me? You are not the only one. You are not the only one. So please calm down and only look at what you will do to overcome these challenges. Stop paying so much attention without going for the solution on the challenges you are going through. This is so important, okay? All right, can you hear me? Are you following? Hey, I see us joining. Thank you. Thank you. I'm following this conversation. There's a conversation going on. All right. Somebody says, if happiness comes from those who fear God, what happens to one who fall out of God and hate God? Why will he or she be married? Let me answer that question. His royal son, son of the king. Yes, let me quickly address that. You're saying, why should those, if I get it right, that those who know God, who call themselves children of the Lord because probably they've given their lives to Christ, they are religious, they go to church, they feel they obey all the rules. How come they are not happy in their marriages? And then those who don't know God, who might probably be atheists, how come they are happy in their marriages, or how come they don't go through the problem that the Christians go through? Let me quickly address that, and I will relate it to marriage. First of all, this will take us to another myth. Marriage is not just for Christians. It's for humanity. I've said this over and over again. Marriage is not just for Christians. It's for everybody. And the principles that rule marriage, they don't have to be obeyed. They are not peculiar to if Christians obey them. That's why it will work for them. It's like you are talking about unbelievers or sinners who inhale oxygen, who are under the sun, and they receive the reflection of the sun, and you also receive it. Okay? These are universal principles and gifts that God has given to humanity. If you desire it, whether you're born again or you're not born again, you will benefit from it by principle. So God created these things for humanity, not just for believers. I said the other time, I said the only thing that might differentiate you from someone who does not know God is eternity. Principles of life is applicable to every human being on the surface of the earth. That is why the Bible says, I am the Lord that giveth thee power to get wealth. Do you know there are people who don't believe in God and they are wealthy? There are people who are not Christians and they are very rich. There are principles to getting rich. If you call yourself a Christian, you are righteous, you are do this, and you break the principles of wealth, you will never, ever be rich. So when you see unbelievers enjoying their marriages, doing so well, and why some Christians are going through hell and all those stuff, these are the things that are responsible. Marriage, again, is not just for Christians. It's a blessing God gave to humanity, including animals. So when a Christian marriage fails, there might be some myth. I will talk about myths peculiar to the Christian group. And these myths are misleading us. The way we live with them, we deprive ourselves the blessings that we deserve by covenants. And it's unfortunate. So I hope I was able to answer that. Friends, I hope you got that point very clearly. So that is just it. So marriage is for everybody. If you want it, you get it, and you will enjoy it if you obey the principle. Okay? Marriage, one of the principles of marriage is biblical principle of marriage, the way God intended it from the very beginning, is between a man and a woman. We have couples who are married, to the same sex. Imagine that they are Christians, and because they are Christians, they are saying, I need to enjoy this marriage because I'm a Christian. Does it follow the divine principle of marriage? All right, so please kindly take note of that. Another myth, another lie about marriage is that marriage makes people happy. Marriage makes people happy. It's true that marriage could make you happy, but marriage generally is not intended to make you happy. But you can use it, you can work on it, and make it a source of happiness for you. If you're getting married with that mindset that I'm going to be happy now that I'm getting married. Some of you, the reason why you are getting married is because you want to escape from the stress of your family, from the distractions, from the pressure that you're of age, go and marry now. Therefore, this guy that you didn't even love, you wouldn't, of course, marry him on a normal reason. But because to avoid the pressure from your siblings, you just, okay, I'll marry you, let's go. You will never be happy. You will never, ever be happy. Except you walk around it, and fill in the gaps. So you are not getting married because you are looking for happiness. Okay, marriage will give you happiness if you obey the principles of happiness in your marriage. Marriage doesn't just give you happiness. Okay? So take note of that. It's a myth a lot of people have lived their life on, and when they get married, they are not happy, it becomes a very terrible problem. So take note of that. Marriage is not the source of happiness. Source of happiness will be determined by you. And as per me, among so many other things, primarily, Christ is the source of my happiness. Another myth is that you will stop having certain problems once you get married. It's a lie. It's a lie, okay? That is, certain major problems will become automatically solved once you marry. It's a lie. I'm going to cite a very sensitive example. In those days in church, when as a counselor, church counselor, not professional yet then, when people come around and they talk about I'm not happy, I'm having sexual problem. They talk about I'm having sexual problem. Some people talk about I masturbate. And counselors, I hear counselors advising those who have such problems to go get married. No, it's not right. Marriage, fine, we give you the legal right to have sex with your partner anytime, any day. And if you are the kind that is, your desire for sex is extremely high, okay, and as a result of that, you keep a lot of partners or you are promiscuous and all those stuff, and you know that the way you are running your life, you're going to kill yourself, and you decided that, okay, let me talk to a counselor, and the counselor goes ahead to tell you that, oh, you're of age, why don't you get married? Okay, and there, the reason for getting married is to tackle your sexual problem. It will never satisfy you. You need to first of all address it as a problem, deal with it independently as a problem. The next phase might be that, get settled down there. When you can't control your sexual drive before marriage, when you are married, you will never be able to control it. This is one of the reasons that infidelity rate is very high, extremely, extremely high, even among Christians in marriages. So don't enter a marriage to say this marriage is going to solve this particular problem. Independently, work with a therapist, work with a counselor, work with someone who will help you, okay, to overcome this problem before you go ahead to, make a major decisions. You are trying to solve a problem and you are taking major decisions in the problem. It won't be solved. Okay, so take note of that and don't run your life based on that. It doesn't work that way, okay? Let me see. Any other reaction? We are talking about, as you can see over there, marriage myths and reality. That's exactly what we are talking about. And I hope you're going home or you're picking one or two things that will help you. All right? So another myth is, marriage myth is, conflict means a lack of love. That is, this is specifically for those that are married or you are engaged or you are in a relationship that is advancing towards marriage. The conflict going on in your relationship doesn't mean you don't love each other. It doesn't mean there's no love. So you may want to ask me that, okay, he keeps hurting me. Can you hurt someone you love? Now, you need to separate individual personality or personality differences, just like we talked about in our last edition on this show. Okay? Our weaknesses, at times, we go out of control and they begin to control us, and it doesn't mean we don't love. Something happened last week to a family friend. He was having some issues with his wife, and then one particular morning they started talking. He woke his wife up, said, okay, let's talk about our issues. These are the things you're doing that I don't like, and all those stuff. So the reaction of the wife was so discouraging to him that he was annoyed. He just picked up his shirt and drove out of the house. Okay, and he left. And the wife, who was trying to prepare for work at that moment, started crying. My husband got involved. That was how I got to know. And I was overhearing them over the phone. Take it easy, this and this and that. Later in the day, that same day, my husband just called to say, okay, I have an update over these guys. So the wife refused to go to work because she was just brokenhearted. No, you are taking it too personal, and they started arguing and all those stuff. Okay, so when the husband got home, remember he was angry, he left. So from there he went to work. When he now got home, he met the wife on the bed, and he was worried. And he walked up to her and asked, what happened? Why are you not at work? And she said, I don't want to go to work. He said, why? I said, I don't want to go to work. I'm not happy. I'm not this. And she started crying again. And the husband broke down also. He said, okay, what are the things you need to do? Let me quickly help you do them so that you can catch up with one or two things. And he started helping the wife and all those things. Now, they had issues. They argue. At that point in the morning, they couldn't really, come together to see each other's perspective to the issues at hand. And they were both angry. This one broke down and that one. It doesn't mean that they don't love each other. It's just the issue at hand that they are handling from different perspectives. Selfishness can make you to have conflict. It doesn't mean you don't love this person. So when the husband came, and look at the way they settled it, and afterward, they've been doing so well. It doesn't mean they will have another issue the next day, okay? But it depends on how you address it. So when you're going through challenges in your marriage, don't just rush at the conclusion that your husband or your wife does not love you, and that's why this is happening. No. There might be love, and there might just be challenges or the different ways you guys manage your conflict. So if you think that your conflicts are becoming too much and persistent, you are talking about the same mistakes, you are repeating it, both of you are always arguing, you know, and this thing is draining you, taking away your happiness, okay, don't just try to settle it alone at that point. If it's becoming too much, please trust someone with what you're going through and let them make you see that same issue from another perspective. At times, our inability to shift our ground, our inability to understand the perspective of the other person is what is causing problems in our relationships. So talking to someone can be, in a way, look at it from this way, look at it from this angle, all right? And everything's going to be fine, all right? So in other words, conflict is in every marriage, including mine. All right, but mine is never out of hand. It doesn't mean that in the next 1 minute I kiss my husband. It doesn't mean that in the next seconds I say, leave me alone. Okay, probably there's something. So these are the way at times the challenges you go through are the things, if you manage them well, are the things that actually boost the bond together. The moment you argue over money and you address it, you advance in the relationship. An advancement in this context means you shouldn't, whatever you've settled, shouldn't become a problem next time. You are growing. You're getting to know each other better. No matter how many years you spent for your courtship, you can't know each other enough. You can't know each other enough. Some other things will come up, you know, down the line, and as time goes on, even in the relationship. So as new development unravels in your marriage about your partner, be mature how you react to them. Again, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It might just be a conflict that we need to sit down to talk about. Okay? Should I guess this is fine. Now, let me hear from you. Can you give me a myth that you are familiar with, that you feel that is questionable? I need a myth. Kindly post it. I have mentioned, how many have I mentioned? I've mentioned up to like 6 or 7. I want you to give me one. Marriage myth that is a popular opinion that is not necessarily true, but that so many people, they use as the yardstick to manage their relationships, and it's causing problems. Yes, I'm waiting. Yeah, if you are connected, I'm waiting. Thank you for sharing. I see people that have shared. Thank you so much. If you're connected and you don't like, you've not liked this page, please like it. On my YouTube also, I told you the other time, I said I'm trying to work on my YouTube to make it more active. I'm so connected to Facebook that I'm not paying attention to my YouTube. But now I'm doing so. So kindly help to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meriboye TV. I'm waiting for you. Drop your own myth that you know, whether it's peculiar to your culture, your environment, your family, or what you know generally. I'm going to actually wait for that. This is Rachel G. Ma, I like the light you are using. What's the specification, please? Okay, you're talking about the studio lights. The one that leads me, or my background, or there's a lot of lights in this studio. Okay, but because of my skin tone, you pay more attention to use tone cell if your skin tone is dark. So use more of tone cell. So a lot of these cameras that are not manufactured in Africa, they are manufactured for the skin tone of those in their country, sincerely. So that is one unique understanding a lot of photographers don't know. So for you to have better thing from your better output from no matter the kind of camera you have. Once is one of these DSLR camera or professional camera, your lighting is what will bring out the beauty of your camera. Sorry everybody that I'm talking about photography with this my colleague. Sorry, okay, so yeah, I'm waiting. Oh, okay, so let me assume that there are no myth. I wanted you to give an example of a popular opinion that is not necessarily true about marriage, okay? Apart from the ones I've given. If you are there, if you have any, you can please point it out. All right, as we round off on this Friday night show, kindly take note that no matter what is going on with you in your relationship, you are not actually the only person going through anything you are going through. I may not talk about mine the way you're talking about yours. So it now gives you the impression that, oh, it's a perfect marriage. It could be a perfect marriage. But that's just what I want you to know. As such, stop comparing yourself with people. Stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing your relationship with other people's relationship. Okay? I've made it a point of duty to always repeat this particular point. Stop comparing yourself with the other person. Your partner is different from my partner. So don't expect your partner to do what my partner is doing. These are unique people, brought up from different backgrounds, different families, different homes, probably different nations. So it's the combination of a lot of things that have formed you or formed your partners today. So, and that exactly will determine his perspective to life, to marriage, to issues that happen in marriage. Okay? So talk more about what you feel you are going through and pay less attention to some unnecessary things so that you can grow. We've burn a lot of energy talking about the negative things rather than, using the same energy to look at the way we can get the positive, to get the problem solved. Yes, Rachel, thank you. There is a myth. I actually accept that. The myth that cooking is a woman's job. Cooking is a woman's job in marriage. It's wrong. It's wrong. That is one of the myths we are trying to debunk. Cooking is not the woman's job unless it's convenient for you to make it your wife's job. So even when she has just put to bed and she's trying to heal, her system is trying to heal, and the family is hungry, you are still waiting for her to go to the kitchen and cook because that is her job in this marriage. Unless it's working for you, whereby you just determine that do all the cooking, no matter whether you're tired, you are not, whether you are this, or probably you are saying that, I don't know how to cook. If you don't know how to cook, but you don't hold onto that mindset that it's your job to cook, you see, but the way you begin to relate with your wife when there is no food, there might be a problem. I'm not encouraging women to expect their husbands to cook. We are trying to debunk it that it's not the reality, that the woman's job, that it used to hold in the African setting in those days in the villages. A lot of civilized, civic people, educated young men and ladies are still living in their villages, even while they are abroad, because of the myths they use to run the affairs of their families. Education doesn't take away some of these lies. Okay, it doesn't. It just depends on you. You can choose to allow yourself during acquiring knowledge or during your period of acquiring your degrees or in the process of your career, of trying to build up your career and all those things. You can choose to also grow culturally by not holding on to certain system or belief system that are archaic and they are not just working. We have come this far. Civilization has stepped in. Your wife is now very busy. You are also very busy. Many things that your parents did in the village and your wife is working the way you're working, imagine that you expect her to be doing everything and you are not helping. There are a lot of men that are still living like that, though. And there are a lot of women, too, that also have this belief that man must provide in the house. They are working, they are saving. They just leave everything to the man. It's wrong. You better don't kill your husband with stress. Okay? So, let's debunk those lies. If it works for you, go for it. If it doesn't work for you, there's no need to argue. There's no need to fight. Sit together as a couple. That's why I don't have rules on how to I don't have a particular system of rules that I dish out to couples on how to make their marriage work. I only make suggestions. I only work with them to make decisions that will be helpful to them. Okay? I work along with them based on their peculiar challenges. Okay? And based on their peculiar characters and not the rest. Okay, so take note of all these things. Yes, in the absence of none, I'm going to be calling it a night. I hope you were blessed. Keep working on your relationship. If you are married, you have not gotten married to a perfect person. Give room for benefit of doubt. When you are not so sure, okay, when you are not so sure of what is happening, ask questions. Don't just be quiet and believe that this is what is going on. It might not be what is going on. It might just be what you think is going on. And most times what we think is not always right. Why don't you go further? Ask questions. Okay? A marriage that must work depends largely on you. Okay? It depends largely on you. I won't even say it depends on your spouse. It depends largely on you. How do you interpret the way your spouse, relates with you? If you misinterpret, conceive whatever your spouse is saying, then you're going to instill a problem in the marriage or in the relationship. And that is exactly what we are talking about. Myths are real, and a lot of homes are still running the affairs of their family based on these lies. If only we debunk them the way we have done, and we stop them from ruling the affairs of our marriages, I assure you that you are going to improve and see better days in your relationships. And I pray it shall be well with you. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Let me see, do I have any question? Does anybody have any question to ask me before we call it a night? Thank you for being a part of this. I will be seeing you some other time. I'll be coming live on Sunday. The way I'm doing it now is as if every other day. So come today, don't come tomorrow, because I work even outside the studio. So at times it could take my time. I'll be seeing you on Sunday, but by Sunday, I'll be dealing with like other issues that is not marriage. Okay, just like I did last week Sunday. Thank you, and God bless you. Enjoy your weekend, and may God take good care of you in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, and God bless you. All right.